Hello, my friend. There is a subject that often intrigues me, and the subject is spending time with negative people or not spending time with negative people. Now, in a lot of self-help books, you'll hear people say, stay away from negative people. And it seems to have become a motto. It seems to have been like a virus, like a bug, is spread now. And often a lot of people who want to be in harmony with life, who are actually in the process of bettering themselves, improving themselves, all of a sudden to negative people. They don't want to see them. They don't want to spend time with them. They're scared of hearing things that are negative. They don't want to spend time with people who are ill. They don't want to spend time with people who are going through financial difficulties, all that kind of thing. And when I say they, I have to say that I am one of the they, that despite the fact that often I will say to people when they are being negative about negative people, I will try to bring some light into it and some positive aspect to it, or say whatever I can for them to stick with those people and help them out. I've actually realized that that has actually in some places been a difficult thing for me to do. And thanks to very, very dear people, I have finally understood where the problem lied for me. Now, the two people, one of them was a great friend who committed suicide. And a week later, somebody else who also very dear to my heart attempted suicide. Now, one of the difficulties I have with people that are negative is the fact that they don't seem to do anything about it. Well, they don't seem to do anything about it. They don't seem to do what I tell them to do. How dare they? But really, I would suggest something. Why do I suggest it? I suggest it because I had done these things to take me out of the dark night of the soul. When I say I have done these things with a certain level of pride in it, I've realized that I might have done many things to help myself out of the dark night of the soul. And believe me, it was very, very dark. I'm sure they're darker, but I was almost at the end. I didn't know what to do. Nothing seemed to work. I didn't know how to be happy, although everybody would see me as a happy person, jolly, sociable, friendly. But I was going through a difficult time. So I started doing whatever I could. I took responsibility and tried to do whatever I could to get myself out of that deep hole. But it wasn't just my doing that got me out of the night. It was grace. And I was lucky, and I'm very grateful. And I think it's very important that we remember that. Without remembering, I mean, I don't know whether you've been through the same, but I think that for me, remembering that it was grace and not just my doing makes me more compassionate to people who are currently going through difficulties. The other aspect is the fact that those two people I mentioned earlier with the suicide, those people actually did all the things that I had done. And what are they? I don't know. Doing yoga, meditation, spending time in nature, writing a journal, self-inquiry, doing the work of Byron Katie, reading The Power of Now, all of the things that everybody who gets to a place of, start doing and start searching. And my search really started when I was very early, when I was very young. And so those people who either succeeded or tried to commit suicide, they did all of those things. And they saw the end. One of them saw the end. So what the person who's gone has given me, and I thank her for it, is the ability to see that those things might not necessarily solve the problem. Those things might not necessarily take you out to the light. There's more to it that we don't understand. And it humbles me. It humbles me because I love understanding. I love knowing. I love to know. I like to figure it out. I like to put life in a box and say, okay, if we do this, this, and this, and that, that's where we're going to get. I know that we can't. I really do, intellectually. But then many times in my life, I see I'm still stuck in that pattern. I want to understand. And I can't. We can't. So if we know that, we can then stop forcing our thought on other people. When I say forcing it, if I think that my friend, if I believe that if I say to my friend, or if my friend agreed to do all the things that I tell her, and if she did them, she will be out of her misery. Well, of course, I'll be forcing it down her throat. And in fact, there would be a little bit of in my voice, and that she could feel, by the way, I'm sure. But if I know that I don't know, if I know that actually she might do all of these things and it might not work, then maybe perhaps I'll be a little bit gentler. Maybe I'll suggest it. But if she didn't do it, I wouldn't be what's the word? I wouldn't be so desperate for her to do what I'm telling her to do. I'm only desperate because I think it can help her. But if I know that it might not help her, there won't be any desperation. There'll be more of an opening, a trusting of life, rather than, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do all the things that I did and you'll be fine. And if you're not fine, it's because you're not doing what I'm telling you. And I think that's where a lot of us get to with people that are there really to teach us that we don't know. We don't know anything. So to them, I say a big thank you. And I think that it's time for us to spend time with negative people. When I say that, negative people, if we are positive, if there is any positive in us, they need that positivity. And through osmosis, purely osmosis, just being present with them, maybe if we are as positive as we think we are, maybe we can make a difference.